Oh, the circus. It's a hoot. It's a hoot. Guys, but this is what happens when you have people that are not prepared, that are not trained, acting on behalf of the company, right? Acting as agents of the company. This could be problematic, especially when it comes to things like this, right? There's a huge difference, and I mean absolute huge difference between marketing and politics. And the purpose of any business, including me, right? When I do business, I want to sell to everybody. What anybody's ideology regarding anything, it's none of my business. The only ideology I care about is green. That's right, green. That's what you do as a business. You try to sell as many products to the most amount of people. That's it. Can you imagine if you had Coca-Cola decide that they're only gonna market to this sector of the population and they're going to exclude this sector of the population? That's insane, right? You can have your own individual opinions about things in your own private life, but when you're running a business, right, just like in anything else, you have to take ownership of what you can and cannot do, right? What things are going to affect you positively and negatively in business, right? You might feel a certain way, for example, about people like myself who love the wood grain. Oh, I love the wood grain, right? But imagine if I'm going into your establishment and I'm willing to spend as a game hoarder, I don't know, what do I spend? $300 every time I go? And you're like, nope, you're a wood grain lover. You like that Amico and you wear that flying tigers hat. Off with you. That would not be a good business proposition, right? And what you had here on this last show, on the Amico Waiting Forever show, was that you had people that are unprepared to answer questions, who are not properly trained because they're not proper employees of the company, even though they might be investors or have financial interest in the company, right? We can only verify that about one, the person that, runs the show, that owns the show. Reportedly, at this point, I don't know. They make so many claims. It's the Amico. Anything could be true. Anything could be true, right? But this is problematic for the company. Listen, guys, if you are a true fan of television, you can't be anything but sad. I know you guys get really upset at some of these folks, but let me tell you, for me at this point, I just feel sorry for them. None of this is worth it. I mean, I don't see, other than lunacy, I don't see why you would do this to yourself. Why ruin your credibility, your reputation? It just makes no sense to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's enjoyable to watch, right? When people are this nuts, I mean, it's just enjoyable to watch. It's like a reality show, right? But in a reality show, at least those people are getting paid a good amount of money to come on there to make fools of themselves. Here, it's the Amico. it's it's the Amico. And whenever you point these things out, they have a problem. Now, guys, we're going to do this again next Wednesday to see how they're going to deal with this. By the way, I'm going to have some cool prizes for you guys. If you're part of the Cornhole Club, that's my shilling for you. We're going to have great prizes if you want to spam emojis on my chat. But, we'll see what the reaction is. Hopefully, they will try to right the ship, if you will, somehow. But Intellivision has to rein this in, especially because you have an employee in there. And I made the observation and asked the question, is this guy getting paid? How much is he getting paid? Right? There's a lot of experts out there, right? Let me show you a handsome young man that had some things to say. Let's look here, and let's go with him first. Now, why do I think they think it's politics? Because they were in their little Black Ops powwow meeting, and he's probably just parroting what happened there. If he sees it that way, it's because that's what they discussed. So, let's see what he has to say here.
Like, fuck your politics. I don't care. When I want to talk about games, that's another one. I don't know what the accusation there is.
Okay, so there is no accusation. Again, this gentleman made a video without actually reading the comment. Here is the comment. NES Girl says, how does Intellivision plan to include the LGBT in their marketing? I've yet to see anything. I just think it would help broaden the market. It's a genuine marketing question to which Rab, to his credit, answered professionally. This question should not have been banned, but this is what happened in real time. There it goes. So that's what happened to the question, right? And that was what we're talking about here. Even though he made this video without knowing what we're talking about, that was his response. So he probably thinks that it's political, and it's probably what they talked about there. Now, this is a very small-minded point of view by people who are not trained properly. Maybe these people don't know this, but there are gay Republicans. There's lesbian conservatives. This is America. We have all kinds of people. That's the whole point, right? When you have a business, you want to sell to everybody. If the LGBTQ plus community wants to fund the Amico, if you are a fan of the Amico, what's the problem? You're not getting the money from the retro community. You guys already, spoiled that fertile ground of investment. Maybe this could be another way to do it. So that question, in any general business who was prepared would have been addressed differently. The problem you have is John Alvarado's there. He's part of the mods. And let's talk about him right now. So let's see. Paid was my question. Oh, here we go. This is his opinion on my question of whether or not John Alvarado's getting paid. Oh, look at that young man.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, I think the kid running that thing last night was saying that too. I wonder how much he's getting paid for. Get the fuck out of here.
Now, guys, if you ever want to know if it's important to, work out, watch your diet, and try to live a healthy lifestyle, remember this. I have 6 grandchildren, and I'm older than this guy right here. But I thank him for the compliment of young man. Now, with that said, let's head back to business here. And he probably is not familiar with the laws of California, right? So it is a smart thing to do to ask the question, is he getting paid? Because at this point, there's no office. Could he be working from home? Right, that's possible. Is he working on salary? We don't know. He's not making statements. But he has a title of moderator. Look it up. It implies you doing something. Does California have laws and regulations of employees working out of their office, doing things on the internet? Oh, there are some, right? There are some. So I think it's a genuine question to ask. Now, do I think that John Alvarado did this? No, I don't. The problem is he's endorsing this circus by being there. And he does serve a function of employee there as his capacity of the chief technology officer, right? And he should make a statement about this because he's getting the big bucks, or at least he got the big bucks, 6 figures, and he's on this show. Does Intellivision want this? No, absolutely. Do they need headaches? I think they have enough, right? But by being there, he's endorsing this poor job performance. Let's just say that. It's a poor job performance. Guys, this is the second time I record this video because the first video, where I got a little more specific, got flagged, right? By YouTube, not by anybody else, by YouTube. So if for those of you that are thinking that I'm making these videos for monetary gain, you're nuts, because every single Amico video, for the most part, gets yellow tagged, right? That's just the way it is. I do this for your entertainment. But this is where we're at. If you're an Intellivision Amico fan, this is not a good thing. This is not great news. These are more problems that you don't need when you're already at the bottom. Closing down new markets, potential investors, is not a good thing, right? I love the wood grain, and I don't care who funds it. I don't care if it's LGBTQ. I don't care if it's the Communist Party, Martians. If you want to see the console, you don't care who's funding the project. You really don't. Why do you care who they're marketing to? But obviously, they saw this as political. If we take the statements of the wonderful young man there, right? That's probably what they talked about. That's the only thing you can deduce from this. But at this point, you have to have the company come out. Mr. John Alvarado needs to come out and say something. He just can't stay silent. Maybe he will. He's already gotten the money. He's already gotten paid. What does he care? The one with the liability here are the people that are undisclosed investors, right? Whoever that may be on this show. We know of one for sure. Maybe a number two just snitched on himself recently. But that's what we know. At the end of the day, guys, I'm not upset at these people. I feel sorry for them. I genuinely do. This is just a complete clown show at this point. Making mistake after mistake after mistake, putting the name of television, under the dirt. And those of us who are true fans of the company, from back in the day, the real retro gamers, the ones that have games from the old days sitting up there, the ones that, at any point when this first started had any sort of hope of this coming out, we're sick to our stomach with what these people are doing to the company. Do you want to blame Tommy for everything in the past? Yes. But at this point, we can only blame the people who are doing this now. And they have to take responsibility for this stuff. Not the fans, the company, the people that supposedly want to put this project out. They need to rein these in, right? They need to do the right thing for their fans, for the few fans that are left. I mean, this is absolute insanity. It's just, if it was reality show guys, it would be even more funny, right? But at least they would be getting paid for doing dumb things. At this point, they have all the liability. Whoever's running this, whoever has an interest in this, has all the liability. And in television, could just say, hey, these guys are idiots, and wash their hands of the whole thing and they just walk away from there. But at this point, it's not that simple because John Alvarado is there, and maybe another employee is there, and they're moderators, and that means something. So they better get on the scene, make a statement, and clear this whole mess up that their buddies have made. All right, guys, I will wait for you next Wednesday. We'll have a good show. We'll have some great prizes. We'll have some fun. We'll watch at a particular young man reacting to some viewer comments. It's comedy gold. Let me tell you, it's some of the best live streaming that I've ever seen. Become a member of the Cornhole Club and spam those emojis on the live stream, guys. It's only 99 cents. And if you want them for free, you can hit me up on Twitter. I will catch you on the next one. Take care.
New videos every week. Make sure you don't miss out and subscribe.